Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA, let's go over what is happening, what we can expect moving forward, and all of that good stuff as per usual. So, ladies and gentlemen, also as per usual, if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc., I do share my thoughts with my members pretty much every single day the market is open in my YouTube membership. That link is down below in the description of the video. It's the first link in the description. We'd love to have you there for just $3 a month, right? You get access to my thoughts mainly on Tesla stocks, sometimes other stocks that I share as well. You pretty much get my access to my thoughts, post updates on those every single day the market is open. Again, mainly Tesla, sometimes other stocks. Or for $5 a month, you get access to all of that, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well. But all that being said, speaking of NVIDIA, let's just jump into it, right? NVIDIA closing the day up with a respectable 2.3%, we'll say, closing just shy of $141 per share, which obviously compared to the market, you can argue is, maybe a slight outperformance even, right? Slight outperformance even on NVIDIA, despite a bit of a rocky start in the morning, but it ended up pulling out ahead and it was actually moving pretty much in tandem with AMD, but NVIDIA ended up actually overall performing naturally stronger than AMD, which it is what it is. There's something about AMD that has a special place in my heart. I don't know what it is about the stock. There's just something about it I really like. I don't know what. But NVIDIA, clearly the better performer, right? Nonetheless. So what does this actually mean moving forward, though, for NVIDIA, right? Is this good? Is this bad? Are we, is there more room higher? Or are we going to cool off here? Like, what's next, right? Well, this is where things will start getting a little bit more interesting. So like I said on Friday, we had that inside day and we broke out of it. We came back this morning to retest that. That's what I shared with my members. I pretty much told them that as long as we hold about 136 to 137, and this was when we were red in the morning, actually, I believe. I can scroll all the way down to the morning updates, which was right around, I think it was this one here. Yeah. NVIDIA. So you can see this was the morning update, right? Pretty much as the market opened, 9:33 a.m., right? Market literally just opened. We are 138.74. And this is what I shared how, we broke from the inside day pattern from last week, which is good. Now, as long as we continue turning 137-ish or 137 to 138, I said, to support, I want to see a move into the 140s next. Posted that literally 3 minutes after the market opened. And what happened? Bam, right? That's exactly what happened. We pretty much held that general level I mentioned, about 137. And look at that. We're into the 140s now. Now, this is where, again, like I said, it's going to get interesting. Why? Because 140s has, in the past proven, especially the low 140s, it has proven to be a bit of an issue. Every time we've come up into this general vicinity, it has been overall, a bit of a problem, right? It's been a bit of a problem. It hasn't been very easy to not only get into this level, but also usually stay in this level for too long. So we want to see NVIDIA and we want to see how it is going to react here, because naturally, right, just strictly off of, standard support resistance, if you will, I would assume that this level is going to start providing some resistance, right? Some resistance should be, in theory, starting to come in here a little bit for NVIDIA. There are good signs developing. I think NVIDIA, as long as we can kind of hold this general area, at least for maybe the rest of the week or something like that, which again, it is a shorter week. Don't forget, it's Tuesday today. I think we're actually developing something that could be promising, but let's talk about everything, right? So let's talk about the bullish perspective first, as I keep pressing Control Z until this drawing removes. Anyways, so the bullish perspective, right? The bullish perspective is, well, overall, obviously we're in a sideways market. All moving average, moving indicators, right? The EMAs right here, you can see they have no idea what the hell to do, right? Because we're just up and down. We're zigzagging. We're sideways, right? We're chopping. Moving indicators, moving averages, EMAs, useless. But what we're doing now is the fact that, we're getting this nice little rally, right? So the good news is the fact that there could be, a little bit more room to the upside. For instance, if you take the Fibonacci from this massive upswing that we had over here before that event, or more or less during that event, and then you bring it all the way down here, you can see the first major Fibonacci level to watch out for is at 618 sitting at 144. So, it wouldn't fully shock me if we do tap 144, potentially sometime this week. Wouldn't shock me whatsoever if we do tap that, right? But that to me is going to be a very, even maybe slightly below that, but pretty much starting from where we are right now up to 144, I do expect some, potentially some meaningful resistance. I do expect some pretty serious, meaningful resistance to really start to kick in around here, some selling pressure to kick in, right? NVIDIA's had a pretty nice rally from the bottom, right? Massive sell-off, now massive rally, right? So I do expect resistance to start kicking in here. But if we can hold around this general vicinity, I do think that NVIDIA can start setting up something nice. Why is that, right? Well, the reason for that is because you can see the MACD, again, we're chopping, it's kind of useless, but it's flipping bullish nonetheless. That's a good sign. But the thing I care a little bit more about here is the fact that it's stochastic. Remember, it was cross bearish for quite some time. it's curling. It's curling. Now it's not cross bullish just yet, and it's going to take some more time, which is why, like I said, it would be ideal if Nvidia can hold like high 130s or very low 140s, and without giving up too much of that too quickly, because then it'll give time for this stochastic to get that bullish crossover. And then once that bullish crossover comes in on the stochastic, that could be a nice sign moving forward. So the goal for me for Nvidia for the rest of this week, honestly, which it can sound a little bit boring, but to be fair, the stock, despite some volatile movements here and there, has ultimately gone nowhere. It's essentially still the same. I expect it to still ultimately not really go anywhere too crazy just yet. Get some sideways action, kind of solidify this area as hopefully some nice strong area to build a new base, if you will. Wait for the stochastic to cross over, and then I think we can make our way higher, right? Because you can see the RSI, it's not overbought, but it's getting closer to the overbought levels, right? And again, the Bollinger Band, the top end of the Bollinger Band is not that much higher. It's at 146. And like I said, to me, Bollinger Band breached and RSI oversold, which we're not there yet, but we're not that far from it. It's only like $5 away roughly, is a warning sign usually for me. That's usually why I start maybe selling covered calls or more aggressive covered calls, or maybe even just straight up selling some shares or whatever. Is risk off, more risk off, essentially is what I'm trying to say. On the flip side, again, when a stock like Nvidia especially is doing the exact opposite, near or at the bottom Bollinger Band, RSI oversold. Okay, this is when everyone's panicking. This is when you want to accumulate, right? Plain and simple. Really not that difficult. So anyways, that's kind of the perspective I'm eyeballing right now in Nvidia moving forward. So ultimately, that's kind of what I want to see moving forward. I want to see this right here. I want to see us start to really form a base around this general vicinity, maybe a bull flag or something of the sorts. And I really want to see us breach these Fibonacci levels, because as we get into the bearish side right now, the bearish perspective is the fact that there is a chance that this massive move down, and now again, that little move to the upside, is essentially kind of a dead cat bounce, where we're essentially sort of filling fair value gaps and essentially oversold conditions because we sold off so aggressively, so fast, right? From this kind of general vicinity, very fast, very aggressive selling pressure. And now we're just essentially resetting the stop. We're sort of resetting that, equilibrium, if you will, buyers versus sellers, because you can't just only, especially in a stock like Nvidia, you can't just rocket down and you can't just rocket up. I mean, I guess back here you technically could, but you know what I'm trying to say. For the most part, usually you don't, right? With some exceptions, of course. So, you can make an argument, the fact that from the bearish perspective, this is just simply us sort of resetting the equilibrium. And again, with the Fibonacci's, you have the 618 Fibonacci sitting at 144, and the final Fibonacci's of the 786 and 826 sitting at closer to 150. Those are the main two levels that if the bears were to come in and attack Nvidia and to try and smack it back down, potentially even pretty meaningfully back down, these would be the levels to do so. And especially if we get up to one of these levels, especially the green one up here closer to 150, not only will that be a major Fibonacci potential rejection, I say the word potential, nobody knows for sure, but that will also coincide with most likely an overbought RSI, and of course breaching that upper end of the Bollinger Band on the daily chart, which would very much warrant caution on my end, personally speaking. We'll see though, we'll see, you never know for sure. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm expecting right now in Nvidia. So let's see how it moves forward. Let's see how it actually plays out, right? We'll see what actually happens. In terms of options flow, the bulls are still dominating the bears, but I wouldn't say it's as one-sided as it usually is on Nvidia, right? If we look over to see if we can find it over here in terms of confirmed bullish or bearish flow, I don't see much of it whatsoever, right? And it's actually, unless I'm blind, I don't even see it. I could be blind though. Maybe I am blind, but I don't even. There's no way. It's nowhere not on the list, like even at all. Surely it's somewhere, if even slight. Wow. Shockingly, Nvidia is not even on any of the lists in terms of confirmed bearish or bullish flow, which, if anything, could actually be a more reason to believe as to why maybe some sideways consolidation next could be in the cards for Nvidia between, again, the very low 140s to the very high 130s, especially considering it's nowhere to be found on the bearish or bullish flow. So it could be a bit of a muted action. We'll see though, we'll see. But that's my overall general perspective. I still lean more bullish than bearish overall on Nvidia. I absolutely lean more bullish than bearish, mainly because we're still technically in this very, 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 very large rising channel. And as long as we remain in this rising channel, as long as we don't breach below this, I expect us to ultimately at some point step our way up to the upper end of the channel, which would be somewhere in the 160s, maybe next month. I don't know how long it'll take, but potentially next month. Let's see though, one step at a time. Let's take it day by day, week by week. But all in all, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.